Welcome back to Danganronpa V3, the 5th class trial. Kokichi admitted to it, and then said he didn't do it, which is pretty standard for Kokichi. So now we're all very confused. Let's find out what the truth actually is.
It's fine, because Kokichi is the culprit. He killed Kaito. No matter how much he deceives us, it won't change our minds. The footage shows he did it. Kokichi has to be the only option.
The only option? Is that really true? Are we just gonna leave it at that? Nah, it's never that simple.
There's no doubt that Kokichi is the culprit. We all saw that footage from earlier, right?
Kaito got crushed to death.
No, he didn't.
What a horrible video.
Whoever committed that crime was with Kaito in the hangar.
Yeah?
Which just leaves Kokichi then.
Then the culprit is...
Kokichi Oma, the mastermind of this entire killing game.
Maki.
Kaito's killer.
Kokichi killed Kaito with the hydraulic press. That's the consensus right now. But is that even possible? No, it is not possible. It's the safety function. And Himiko tells us it's right.
From earlier, right?
I missed!
What a horrible video.
That's wrong! The safety function would make it impossible to kill Kaito with the press.
A safety function.
Yes, it was written on the safety precautions. The hydraulic press will automatically stop if its infrared sensor detects a living organism.
So the hydraulic press won't move at all if there's a living person under it?
Which is why it couldn't have been used to kill Kaito.
That's what I've been saying.
Which means it's more likely that Kaito was crushed after being killed by some other means.
Do we really have to see this again?
So what we saw in that video, he was already dead by then?
But you could disable the infrared sensor of the safety function with an electro bomb.
But wouldn't that disable the entire machine?
No, I don't think Kokichi would use an electro bomb for that purpose. It would have taken down the hangar's alarm system and Exosol's remote control.
That's true.
It would have put Kokichi at a significant disadvantage.
But you can't be too sure I wouldn't do that. I'm the type who would do anything for fun.
It's just gonna be easier if you don't talk, Kokichi.
Also, we don't have any evidence of a different murder method other than the hydraulic
No, we do. I have a plausible theory for the murder.
What?
Yes, there is a clue that suggests the victim was killed before being crushed. I found it somewhere around the hydraulic press. What did we find around the hydraulic press? This was all in the bathroom. Are we going with Kaito's coat? Because it's got a thing in it? A hole in it? Bloodstain? It's gotta be that, right?
There was a swipe pattern bloodstain in the hangar, suggesting a body was dragged. The bloodstain goes from the bathroom all the way to the press.
Oh, that was the restroom where Kaito was being held, wasn't it?
Bloodstains were also found inside the bathroom. That can't be coincidence.
So Kaito was killed in the restroom, then dragged to the press and crushed?
I think so.
If the bloodstain even was Kaito's.
And that's the point. It might not have been. Kokichi showed signs of injury.
What?
We only guess that Kaito was killed in the bathroom. Since his body was crushed, we'll never know if Kaito died some other way.
We might not be able to examine the body, but we do have evidence that suggests the cause of death. Here, this.
There!
The small hole on the sleeve of Kaito's coat is the key to his cause of death.
The small hole? No. There is no way that hole's got anything to do with the
Oh, Himiko, no, please.
I'll hit you with my everything you buy will go on sale the next day curse.
Himiko, please. No. No.
Himiko, what's wrong? Why are you freaking out all of a sudden? I'm not freaking out. I'm just saying it's impossible for the weapon to be that small.
No, it's not impossible. I can show you. The weapon that left the small hole in Kaito's sleeve. Crossbow.
This is it! I believe the weapon was the crossbow found in the bathroom.
Oh, Himiko.
A crossbow arrow would certainly leave a hole that small. Can we then conclude that Kaito was shot with that crossbow? If so, that crossbow just might be the actual murder weapon used to kill Kaito.
I see. It's so surprising that a crossbow is the murder weapon. Seriously, Himiko, what's wrong?
She probably needs to pee. Anyway, about Kaito getting shot. If that was his cause of death, then I wonder who shot him with the crossbow. Well, I already know, but I won't tell you.
He's just playing with us.
Someone had to be in the hangar, in the bathroom with them. There's no way you could have shot him from outside, right? I mean, maybe you could shoot him through the window, but that wouldn't be easy.
Then let's show him that playtime is over. Let's show him that the students of Hope's Peak Academy will never submit to despair.
Hope? Despair? I wonder who shot Kaito with the crossbow. What a mystery, right, guys?
Who else but you could have done it?
The shot would need to be fired from inside the hangar to hit Kaito.
Are we saying that you could have shot him through the
We
window?
couldn't go in the hangar. The alarm system and electric barrier were in the way.
If we couldn't go in the hangar, and Kokichi had been in there, then he must be the one.
I see, so I'm the culprit.
Kaito would have been in there, but the murder weapon was a crossbow. Knowing that, we should be able to visualize the murder.
I wonder who shot Kaito.
They're definitely saying that he could have been shot from through the window, right? The shutter... I mean, I was thinking that it's possible to get into the hangar if you have an exosol, right? And there were 2 exosols in the hangar after the murder when there was only one before. That's obviously going to come up later, but for now I'm thinking they're saying that he was shot through the window.
Kaito with the crossbow. What a mystery, right, guys?
There it is.
Side.
That's wrong!
If Himiko did this, I'm probably going to cry.
Even without going in the hangar, it was possible to land a shot with a crossbow.
There's no way, right? It was a relatively tall window, and Himiko is short. She can't have done it.
There was a window in the bathroom of the hangar. Maybe it wasn't possible to get in, but you could have shot through the window. And remember that Kaito was confined to the bathroom.
But then why was the crossbow in the
If they
bathroom?
shot Kaito through the window, they could have killed him in the hangar. Which means the murder suspect list grows to 6 people, including me!
What did you say?
But put plainly, that means
It seems Shuichi wants to make one of us the culprit. Is that it?
Don't make me the enemy here, Maki.
Is that what a detective does?
Huh?
Do detectives always accuse people, even when they're friends? It seems like it. You suspected Kaito in the previous class trial, too.
Yeah, guilty.
You're always suspicious of your friends.
what's wrong, Maki? You seem like you're kind of on edge.
Kind of.
Of course I am. When we said we would defeat the remnants of despair, someone got in our way.
No, you don't understand. I'm not trying to...
It doesn't matter how much you get in my way. I will absolutely defeat Kokichi. I won't let despair escape. I won't let it win.
Now, let's stop this boring fight and continue on with the not-so-boring trial. So we all agree that the murder could be done by anyone and not just me, right?
That might be true, but I didn't know about the window.
Neither did I.
Himiko.
Really, Himiko? What's the matter? You've been weird since we mentioned small holes.
What? Are you after my small hole too?
Oh my god.
See? Now that's definitely weird.
Look at it this way. Just because the culprit could be anyone, not everyone is a suspect. We can pretty much narrow it down to anyone who knew about the crossbow.
Right. So it's Maki or Shuichi then.
I never knew about any crossbows. In other words, I'm not suspicious. There's no way you can consider me.
It does concern me that Himiko went to the hangar last night.
Whoa, really? You went to the hangar, Himiko?
Yes, she did. I definitely saw her.
She can't have done it. There's too much evidence to suggest that she couldn't have done it.
You were watching me?
It's awfully suspicious that you went to the hangar last night. Okay, then the culprit is Himiko.
And now because he's definitively said that, I know that it wasn't her.
Wait! Don't say it's me! Maki's more suspicious than I am.
What?
That crossbow came from your research lab, right? You could have gotten that crossbow whenever you wanted.
Anyone could have gone to her research lab, though. She's not the only suspect.
I don't know about that. She's definitely the most suspicious. Even if you make that scary face at me, I'm not gonna get scared.
Because if you start panicking, then we'll know that you're the culprit.
I said I'm not the culprit! I swear!
I believe you, Himiko.
Kokichi's the suspicious one! Maki too! They're both the culprits!
Why am I a suspect? Anyone could have entered my research lab.
Yeah, I'll admit that I'm suspicious. Okay, maybe I am the culprit. Maybe I'm the
I'm the
culprit!
culprit.
Oh boy, here we go.
I went
Why
to the
am I the
hangar,
Number one
but
suspect, because I was in the hangar.
If
I
you
wasn't
are the
practicing
culprit,
my magic.
What do you
Did
mean?
you
by
not
explain the
calling it
crossbow.
magic?
Wait, so let me have a look. Kibo's account talks about how Himiko was going there and she had a bag. That could be
There's a
important.
good magic
That
source
doesn't
around
matter
here.
at all.
So I went
Then
there
who
and
actually
Number one
Oh,
suspect.
she went there empty-handed? No, she didn't. Oh crap, that's the wrong piece of evidence.
Kaito.
We need Kibo's account there. Did I miss? Seriously? Oh man. There we go.
I heard it! You said that you went to the hangar empty-handed, but that's a lie, isn't it?
She's not a very good liar.
What are you talking about? It's not a lie.
But Kibo saw you. He said you were headed toward the hangar carrying a large black bag.
Yes, Himiko was definitely carrying a large black bag.
No! That was probably Tsumugi cosplaying as me!
We've been there before.
You know I can't cosplay as someone unless they're a fictional character.
Himiko, this is the bag you were carrying, isn't it?
That's the crossbow case.
There's no mistake. That is the bag I saw Himiko carrying.
But she couldn't have assembled it. And there's no way she's tall enough to shoot through the window and see where she was shooting.
What? Hold on. Himiko went to the hangar with a crossbow?
Uh-oh. Well, it's decided then.
Wait! That's wrong! I just brought it there. I didn't shoot it! It's the truth! Please believe me!
I believe you, Himiko. But you gotta explain yourself.
I believe you. Himiko is totally telling the truth.
Not you! If you believe me, it makes me look like I'm lying!
That is true. But can we really trust Himiko here? She was acting very suspiciously. There's more to this, but Himiko just needs to explain herself. I have no doubt that she didn't actually do it, but what was she doing?
Not the culprit!
Yeah, I totally agree.
I only carried the case.
Yep, that's true too.
And I didn't even use the crossbow!
Another true statement.
And that's all! I didn't do anything else in the hangar!
I'm guessing we have to agree with the first point to say that she didn't use it because she couldn't put it together.
100% exactamundo.
Why does this all sound so fishy?
Ah, 'cause Kokichi won't shut up! Get out of my head, Kokichi!
To hit Kaito with a crossbow, you need to be fairly good with it. Could Himiko have done that? That's the question.
I'm not the culprit!
I agree. I don't think Himiko used the crossbow. More accurately, she couldn't use it.
Couldn't use it? Why not?
The crossbow inside this case was disassembled. Kaito and I learned how to assemble the crossbow from Maki, so we could have done it. But I don't believe someone without the proper training could have assembled it.
Well, what if Maki taught Himiko how to assemble the crossbow?
She didn't teach me that! Right, Maki? What's wrong? Are you mad about before?
Oh, Maki.
Sorry. I thought they were gonna suspect me, so I lied.
I really have to question your morals if you're blaming Maki for your lie, Himiko.
I don't think you're allowed to say something like that.
Right.
I'm sorry, Maki. Please, can you tell them the truth?
What is going on?
Fine. I'm not going to lie. I didn't teach Himiko how to assemble the crossbow. She couldn't have used it.
Good. And now the suspicion falls on Maki and Shuichi.
See?
Whoops.
Everyone who suspected me needs to apologize right now!
She changed back so fast. I think I might have whiplash now.
Then, why did you bring the crossbow to the hangar, Himiko?
I was asked to.
Asked to. Perhaps the person who asked was... Kaito?
That's it! Was it Kaito?
Huh? Kaito?
Only Kaito or Kokichi would have asked for a crossbow to be brought to the hangar. Because Kaito knows how to assemble the crossbow, he certainly could have used it. Knowing that, I can't imagine that anyone else would have asked Himiko.
I do not think she would bring it at Kokichi's request.
Of course not. Why would I ever listen to Kokichi?
Cause I know you like me.
Wishful thinking, I think.
Nuh-uh! I hate you!
But I like you.
No, Himiko, don't fall for it.
Hey, don't play with Himiko's heart.
What would Tenko say? But to think that Kaito asked Himiko to do that. Maybe Kaito was trying to keep the promise we made yesterday. Don't you worry, I'll do something about all this. That's a promise. All you guys are working so hard, I can't just sit back and relax.
But why were you keeping that a secret, Himiko?
Well, Kaito sorta asked me to keep it a secret. Then Kaito died and I got scared. I thought it was gonna be next.
Did you want to keep it a secret from Maki?
You're the worst for trying to pin the blame on Maki just for that reason. Maki, teach this dumb monkey the true terror of human beings.
Oh, Kokichi, just shut up, please.
Don't bully the person you like.
This is way beyond bullying a grade school crush.
Himiko, when exactly did Kaito ask you to do this?
I think it was around evening yesterday. I was so nervous about fighting Kokichi, I couldn't get to sleep. So I took a walk near the hangar, and that's when Kaito called out to me. I got startled and wet myself a little, and then he asked me to get him a crossbow.
Thank you for the detail, Himiko.
That one part was, you know what? Never mind. So if Kaito asked for a crossbow, does that mean he was going to kill Kokichi?
No, he said it was to disable Kokichi. I wouldn't have helped him otherwise.
Sable? He was shot in the back. He was shot in the spine.
I
Supposedly.
trusted Kaito and took a crossbow from Maki's lab.
That's when I witnessed Himiko.
But then, what did Kaito do after he had the crossbow?
I don't know. I just handed him the crossbow, then went right back to the dorms.
Presumably, Kaito tried to attack Kokichi, only to be disarmed of the crossbow. And then, Kokichi returned fire and shot Kaito. That sequence of events seems logical.
No, it happened a little differently. Both Kaito and Kokichi shot the crossbow.
And there's proof of that. It's Kokichi's clothes.
This is it! Remember that when we found Kokichi's clothes, there were holes in the back and sleeve. The same kind of hole that was found in Kaito's coat.
So Kokichi was shot by the crossbow too?
Then it was Kaito who shot him, right?
I'm not sure. I don't remember anything like that.
You don't remember whether or not you were shot?
There is no doubt that they shot each other with the crossbow, but...
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
It doesn't matter what happened in between. In the end, Kokichi killed Kaito.
Maki's been acting strangely. But why? Does she know something? If so, what does she know?
Maybe Maki's right. It doesn't matter what happened in the middle. 'Cause in the end, there's no mistake that Kokichi killed Kaito.
Then let's hurry up and vote.
No, it's too soon. There are still mysteries.
Who cares about that? We already know who the culprit is.
No, we don't.
You sure about that?
Oh, hello, you.
Huh?
What? Now he's joining in?
As the one running this trial, it bothers me when anyone says mysteries don't matter. It affects the overall entertainment value, so I encourage you to really think about things.
Who's watching? We are literally the only people left alive on the planet.
After all, there should be some mysteries that still matter. For example, is Kokichi really inside that exisal? Stuff like that.
Yeah, I said it before in the last part, right? That it could just be like an alter ego program put into the exisal.
What?
What are you saying? We already finished that discussion a while ago.
We finished it, but we didn't conclude anything.
Kokichi's gotta still be alive since the killing game's still going.
Unless he's not the mastermind.
His voice is even coming from the exisal and everything.
But we heard it speak in Kaito's voice earlier, didn't we?
Exactly. Is everyone just forgetting about that?
Yeah, don't rely on that. After all,
This exisal has a voice changer.
It what? It could be anyone in there.
Ha! Because of that, nobody realizes I'm pretending to be Kokichi. But no more! Sorry for the wait, guys! The luminary of the stars has arrived. This time for real.
What? What's going on?
I told you, I'm Kaito. I was just pretending to be Kokichi is all. There's a bit of a situation going on, so I didn't really have a choice. Sorry about tricking you guys like that. My bad.
Huh? So Kaito's in there after all?
Don't be stupid. How many times are you going to be tricked by him? That's Kokichi pretending to be Kaito.
Hey now, Maki Roll. Don't you believe me?
Don't ever call me that!
Oh, man.
Whoa there, chill. You really think I'm Kokichi? I mean, I guess I understand. Sorry, I can't really get out of this thing right now.
Why not?
I can't move because of the injury I got from Kokichi. It's so bad I can't even stand. That's why I'm in this exisal.
Is that so?
But if you guys don't believe me, then we can't move on. So, you're up, Shuichi.
What? Me?
Explain to everyone how I wasn't the one that died.
Kaito was alive after all? No, maybe that's just what I want to believe. Is it really true? What story does the evidence tell? Does that story end with Kaito or Kokichi being the victim? I need to give a well-reasoned answer to that question, and soon. I can't look away from the truth. The victim of this case is... Are you serious? I have to decide! We saw Kaito crushed by the hydraulic press. It has to be... I'm not saying that's definitively true, but that has to be the answer. I'm trying, I really am, but I can't think of anyone other than Kaito. Most of the evidence we have points to Kaito.
Hey, what's the matter, Shuichi? Just hurry up and tell everyone why I'm not dead. Should be easy.
No, I won't. Because you're not Kaito. Kaito is already dead.
Despair will never die! Good, good! This is already more entertaining! Now, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds! All right, let's give it everything we've got!
Well, I guess we're doing this. This trial is all over the place. At least we get to enjoy our scrum debate, my favorite part of the class trial. Which one is dead?
I suspect that Kaito is inside the exisal.
I got this! Unless he comes out of the exisal, we can't confirm that.
He said that he can't leave the exisal because he's injured.
Maki!
Anyone who knows about Kaito's injury can make that claim.
Is it possible that Kokichi got crushed instead of Kaito?
Maki!
Did you watch the footage? Kaito was the one who got crushed.
But there was an arrow hole on Kokichi's shirt.
I got this! Kaito's clothes had arrow holes too.
I want to believe Kaito is still alive and defeated the mastermind.
Oh, here we go again.
Why are you so opposed to Kaito being alive?
I got this! Because the evidence doesn't support the claim that Kaito is still alive.
I want to believe Kaito is still alive and defeated the mastermind, but
Yeah. It gave us that option again where we had to choose between one of two. So I just played
I
it safe.
suspect that Kaito is inside
Inside that
the
exisal.
Why are you so
I got this! Because the evidence doesn't support the claim that Kaito is still alive.
Oh, here we go.
I don't want to believe it. In a way, I still can't. But the evidence shows that Kaito must be the one who died. I hate it. I hate it so much. But it's the truth.
I see. If that's the conclusion you've arrived at, Shuichi, then there must be no mistake.
Then the one here is...
Looks like I messed around too much.
Sorry, that was just a little joke.
What a sick joke!
I gotta say, I'm so happy to hear so much more of Himiko. Like, she's so much more confident and expressive now, and I love it.
You're still an asshole.
True, and I can't forgive him. But we still need to stay calm, be rational. Because we need to get to the truth of Kaito's death.
Yeah! Just keep calm and carry on!
Why are you saying that? What part of that was calm?
Getting back on topic, why don't we examine the crossbow a little more closely? I think we need to get all the facts straight, so we don't fall for any more lies.
I agree, but... What do you think, Maki?
Fine.
Okay, let's discuss that then.
Why are you acting like you're in charge of things?
So if we assume that Kaito and I shot each other with the crossbow, then the most efficient way to solve this is to set up a timeline of events.
Hey, I said, why are you...
Alrighty then! Let the debate begin!
Timeline of events? Who shot who first? That's, I guess, what we need to work out.
When the crossbow fired, what was even going on?
If you need to ask, you were there!
The crossbow was in Kaito's possession first. He probably fired the first shot at Kokichi too.
Well, Kokichi was shot twice.
Kokichi
That's
disarmed
important.
Kaito, took the crossbow, and returned fire.
I don't think so, though. If we look at the
I didn't take the
wounds...
crossbow from Kaito. I secretly brought a different one.
Really? No.
But only one crossbow was taken.
Yeah.
The other two are still in my research lab.
Still, only one arrow was fired.
Oh, no. 3
So
arrows were
how could
fired.
they both shoot each other?
Why would you say that? That's so easy.
Hurt a lot. My wound is still aching something fierce.
What? What was that just now? I feel like that goes against the information I have.
When the crossbow
Yeah, it
fired,
does.
What was even going on?
No one ever said that there was only one arrow shot, right?
Only
That's wrong! Wait, Himiko. What do you mean, one arrow?
Hmm? Well, I only gave Kaito one arrow, so...
Ah. What?
Are you positive?
Of course! There's no way I got that wrong.
Well then, that's strange, because... there were 3 arrows in the bathroom, remember?
How did they get there?
3? I know I only gave him one! Kaito even told me to only bring him one. He said he wanted to avoid fighting.
There were 3 arrows at the scene, but Himiko says that she only brought 1. What is going on here?
Maybe Kokichi had some hidden away?
Why would Kokichi have 2 arrows when he didn't have a crossbow to fire them?
But we know for certain that 3 arrows were recovered from the scene. And all 3 arrows had blood on them.
And altogether, their clothes had 3 perforations in them. So we know for certain that they shot 3 arrows at each other.
Then where did those arrows come from? I don't think Himiko is lying. There must be some angle to this that we haven't considered yet. What is it? What could have happened? Think. I need to think. Oh no, it's Psyche Taxi. Oh, but it looks so cool though. Maybe I should have bought a Psyche Taxi skill. I said I would, and I didn't. How many arrows did Himiko give Kaito? If we believe what she said, then only one. And I do believe what she said. Oh man, that's cheap. Oh, there was a Monokuma there. I didn't see that until it was too late. That's unfortunate. Were all the arrows inside the hangar from the start? Well, we're presuming that some of them were shot through the window, maybe? No. No, we debunked that, right? I actually don't know this one. I guessed, and I got it right. I don't know where they were going with that question. That was a bit odd. But I suppose if they mean, could you have found them in the hangar? Then definitely not. Someone had to have brought more arrows from Maki's lab, I guess. Also, it bothers me that they call them arrows and not bolts. I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be called bolts, though I'm no expert on crossbows. Oh man, I keep missing these ones. I should not be missing these ones. Oh, seriously, come on. There we go. Who brought the 2 arrows? The only other person that knew about the crossbows. Maki. A third party.
Could it be that the additional arrows were brought in by a third party?
A third party? So someone besides Kokichi or Himiko?
That's just a guess, though. There's no way a third party exists.
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you?
If a third party did exist, why would they bring 2 arrows?
Kaito was the only one with a crossbow. I made sure I handed it to him.
Maybe someone else came to the lab, saw that Kaito had been shot, and then shot Kokichi, but they would have to have known that in advance. They wouldn't just carry crossbow arrows around with them.
Kaito said he only needed 1 arrow. Clearly, he didn't want to fight.
Yeah, that's right.
So the other 2 arrows weren't for Kaito. They were for the third party to use themselves.
Right.
So the third party didn't hand the arrows through the window. Instead, they went into the hangar and shot the crossbow themselves?
How did they get into the hangar?
Impossible. There was an alarm system and an electric barrier around the hangar.
Unless they used an exosol to get through those, or we only presumed that Maki only had 1 electro bomb. We know that Kokichi had 3 in total and Maki stole 1, she said. But Kokichi would have only needed to use one to get into the Exisal. He doesn't need the other one for anything that I can think of that's related to this case. So there's one Electro Bomb that isn't accounted for, and Maki could have taken that one too.
Yeah, that hangar should have been completely closed off, right?
It was completely closed off, but can we confirm that? I feel like there might be another way, some way that we haven't figured out yet. I'm overlooking something. Think. What method did the third party use to enter the hangar? Exisal? It's gotta be Exisal, right? Yeah. Give me an S. Why won't you give me an S? There we go. Oh, that was an X. Damn it. Short-term memory. What is it?
That's it. The Exisal. The Exisal could be used to enter the hangar. We couldn't get in because of the alarm system and the electric barrier. But that shouldn't have been a problem for any of the Exisals, right? So if you wanted to enter the hangar, all you had to do was pilot an Exisal.
And if Maki had a spare Electro Bomb, then she could have used it to get into the Exisal.
I saw an Exisal enter the hangar last night. So was this third party piloting it?
By the way, I just want to confirm something with Monokuma. Would the alarm still go off if there was a person inside an Exisal?
Well, I wasn't trying to keep this secret, but since it's about the details of the hangar, I guess I can tell you guys. It makes sense that the alarm system and electric barrier wouldn't react to an Exisal. After all, the hangar is where the Exisals are supposed to be stored.
Okay, get to the point.
It'd be a hassle to disable the security every time an Exisal comes and goes, you know? So even if someone is inside an Exisal, the security system wouldn't catch them. Because it'd be a hassle to leave the Exisal every time you have to put it away.
Man, that was a lot of words for a very simple answer.
Like Shuichi said, a third party got in an Exisal and entered the hangar?
Mm-hmm.
But can just anyone pilot an Exisal?
Well, Kokichi,
It's surprisingly easy. If you use both hands, both feet, and both nipples, you can do it.
Nipples too!
Anyway, this third party commandeered an Exisal and infiltrated the hangar. That same person must have brought the other two arrows with them.
I told you that's impossible.
Huh?
There's no way you can get through security if you pilot an Exisal. It's not possible.
What? Not possible.
Why is it not possible? Maki, what are you talking about? What are you thinking? What do you know? Why are you trying to hide it? Why? Why won't you tell me?
if someone was piloting the Exisal, they could have used it to enter the hangar.
Mm-hmm.
That's not possible.
Is operating the Exisal really that difficult?
Do we even know how to get inside an Exisal? Outside the hangar, there were 4 Exisals. And they were all moving too.
I was controlling.
Oh,
them
the
for
Electro
both.
Hammer.
Electro hammers weren't an option. Yesterday, all the hammers were still recharging.
No, they weren't. One of them was used.
That's wrong!
There were 6 Electro Hammers to begin with. That means there was 1 spare.
Wait, not all of the electro hammers were being charged. I know because I found one. There was a used electro hammer near Monokuma and the Exisals.
Is that electro hammer used by the third party?
Yeah, it must have been Kaito's originally.
Yes, I think so. When I saw them last afternoon, there were 4 exosols. But this morning, there were only 3.
I noticed that too. Was the missing exisal taken by this third party?
Shuichi is getting warmer. How about you say the answer right now? Who did it? Who is this third party?
The identity of the third party. The Electrohammer gives us a clue. I saw 4 exosols at the scene yesterday when I went to meet up with Kaito. Maki didn't have her Electrohammer today. She brought a knife instead. This morning when we were trying to get into the hangar, there were 3. The culprit must have used the Electrohammer between yesterday afternoon and this morning. There's only one person among us I could think of that could do that.
It's you!
What have you done, Maki?
Maki. You're the third party we're looking for, aren't you?
What? It's Maki?
What are you saying?
Remember what Kokichi said.
But be careful, the Electrohammers run out of battery pretty quickly. So if you use it against an exosol, it'll run out of juice with just one shot. Got it?
The electro hammer needs to be recharged for 24 hours after it runs out of battery. That hammer was used last afternoon, so it couldn't have been used this morning.
Oh, right. When we were all gathered in the dining hall this morning.
Maki, where's your Electrohammer? I don't need it. I'd rather not use a weapon I'm unfamiliar with. This is much better. A knife? Well, I suppose you know best.
Maki was the only one without an electro hammer, wasn't she?
Knowing that, the electro hammer I found could only have belonged to Maki. And that leads me to the conclusion that Maki must be the third party. She also knows how to assemble the crossbow and could have returned it to her lab later.
You brought a different crossbow than the one Kaito had, right?
Maki took 2 arrows and her own crossbow from her lab, disabled the exisal with an electro hammer, and infiltrated the hangar. Now we just have to figure out what happened after.
I'll kill your logic. Why are you doing this?
What?
Why are you getting in my way?
Getting in your way? Maki, what are you—
Yes, I'm the third party.
Huh?
I admit to going into the hangar with an exisal, and then shooting the crossbow. I didn't kill anyone. I'm not the culprit!
But I don't even know what to think now.
You're right. I used the electro hammer. And I used the exisal to enter the hangar too. I also shot the crossbow there. However, I'm not the culprit. Because the crossbow is not the murder weapon.
Crossbow isn't the battle.
The crossbow is not the murder weapon? What do you mean?
The poison, right?
The arrows left holes in her clothes. Think about the locations of the wounds. They were on his arm and back. An arrow to each of those spots
Oop.
wouldn't result in a fatal injury. That's why the crossbow can't be the murder weapon. Therefore, I'm not the culprit.
Oh, my mouse has stopped working. That's not good. I don't want to think that Maki is the culprit, but I want to believe her. But the way she's scrambling to defend herself.
And the arrow to each of those spots wouldn't result in a fatal injury.
It would if it was poisoned.
Cut through your words. It wouldn't matter where the arrow hit if it were poisoned.
Poison?
I noticed something about the poison in my lab during the investigation. there was just a little less in the bottle than before. If that poison had been applied to those arrows, they would have been lethal, no matter where they connected.
Maki, do you have a rebuttal?
What's the matter? Why don't you say anything? Don't tell me. Are you really the culprit?
There's no way she is! 'Cause why would she kill Kaito?
I can't understand if you don't explain anything!
Maki is still fighting.
Huh? Fighting?
Do you remember that Maki said she would do anything to defeat Kokichi?
Does that include killing Kaito, though?
Maki is trying to kill Kokichi in this class trial. She wants to kill the mastermind, a remnant of despair.
Then when Maki said she would sacrifice anything, she meant...
The sacrifice that Maki is talking about must be... Is it Kaito's life or all of us? No. He intends to give up Kaito's life, but Kaito's already dead.
No!
I guess it's all of us then. I mean, if she killed Kaito and then got Kokichi... I don't know, it's confusing me.
That's
What's
it!
this then?
She plans to sacrifice all of our lives in order to kill Kokichi.
Sacrifice us?
Then, by hiding the truth, Maki was trying to get us to arrive at the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Just to kill Kokichi and the rest of us along with him?
Doesn't that mean that Maki's the culprit?
She knew what happened and tried to hide it from us.
But that mischievous plan was ruined, all thanks to Shuichi here. Too bad, Maki. I already predicted this would happen.
You knew all along that Maki was the culprit. That's why you've been so calm.
This isn't over.
That's right, this is far from over.
Maybe we do have the truth now, but this isn't over. We have a choice to make. We don't have to follow where the evidence leads.
Huh? What do you mean?
Does this mean you're gonna vote for someone else, even if it's not the truth?
Someone else? You mean vote incorrectly on purpose?
What did you say?
Kaito told me that only I would be able to grasp what lies beyond the truth. That means finding the truth is not enough. We need to grasp the hope just beyond it. So Maki, please tell us the truth. The truth that only you know.
So Kaito said that to you. Then, does that mean you guys made up before he died?
Yeah, when I went to see him yesterday.
I see. Okay, I'll talk about it. Especially since it's my responsibility for involving everyone.
Oh, Maki.
Shuichi, you're so persistent. Were you always like that?
You think so? Maybe Kaito's charisma is starting to rub off on me.
That guy could be pretty stubborn.
Then, what really happened?
Maki, please tell us.
Please.
And so, Maki began telling the truth. A truth that would leave us all in shock.
Don't just start narrating things, you're ruining the mood!
Well, I guess this turn of events isn't exactly boring either.
Oh my goodness. I have no idea what's going on anymore. Oh, geez. Well, we are going to continue on in this class trial in the next part. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.